The Black Death was a devastating global pandemic. Raging from China to Iceland, it killed nearly half of the world's population. In the despair, many people turned to their churches, only to find no respite. As a result, people were now open to new faiths in a way they weren't before, and there were plenty of challenges. In this video, we will see how the Black Death shattered faith in Catholicism and opened the door to the Protestant Reformation. This is Knowledge Voyage.
But before this video starts, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get all of our weekly videos about history. Thank you.
Prior to the Black Death, Catholicism was all triumphant in Western and Northern Europe. People prayed to village saints, and people spent their savings on masses to be said for their loved ones to shorten their time in purgatory. These Catholic beliefs of prayer to saints and the existence of purgatory would be major angles of attack for Protestant critics of Catholicism. But prior to the Black Death, these reformers were largely ignored. But when the plague hit, things began to change. As the disease struck, people visited local shrines and prayed for the saints to help them. But none came, and the death rate surged. This led many to question why the saints were not interceding. It was in this climate that the Protestant claims saints could not intercede and had no power became more convincing. The Catholic practice of praying to saints was hit hard by the plague, but so was the Catholic belief in purgatory. In normal times, even poor families could afford purgatory masses for deceased loved ones, as typically not many died at once. But the mass deaths of the plague changed that. Suddenly, families were burying multiple members. Affording one purgatory mass was one thing, but affording multiple masses at once was another. As more and more people died, poor families were driven to bankruptcy, as they desperately tried to afford purgatory masses to help end their loved ones' sufferings in purgatory. For a people being bankrupted by purgatory, the Protestant teaching that there was no purgatory began to sound more appealing. And it wasn't just the Catholic Church teachings on prayers to saints or purgatory that took a hammering during the plague. It was also the Catholic clergy itself. By the 1340s, around 40% of all Catholic clergy were dead. This meant that the clergy lost many of its most educated, charismatic and energetic members. It left behind poorly trained survivors who further weakened the reputation of the Catholic Church. These priests and monks often further harmed the battered reputation of the Church through corruption or using their own incomplete theology to answer desperate people's questions. The plague also killed off many monks, who in the Middle Ages were the main source of writing and copying books. As a result, people needed a new way to copy books, and it was this urgent need that triggered the invention of the printing press. The printing press made sense, as there was a major need to replace the monks who had died of the plague, but it backfired on the Catholic Church. Prior to the printing press, critics of the Catholic Church had almost no means to widely spread their views, as all the monks were loyal to Rome. As a result, the Catholic Church easily stomped out reformers and Protestants because they had no means to widely spread their views. But as the plague triggered the need for a printing press, things changed. As a result, any critic of the Catholic Church could mass-produce critical writings and get a wider following quickly. Compare Jan Hus and Martin Luther. Huss and Luther were, theologically speaking, identical, but Huss lived before the printing press was invented. As a result, he was quickly squashed. But Luther, who lived after the plague had created the printing press, could mass-produce ideas, and he massively succeeded. In modern language, Protestantism went viral. Put simply, the Black Death gave birth to the Reformation. Whilst proto-Protestant ideas had existed for some time before the plague created a perfect storm for it to go mainstream. Catholic beliefs like praying to saints and praying for purgatory had been shaken by the scale of loss of life caused by the plague. The Catholic Church had been decimated, weakening its personnel and depriving it of most of its scribes. When the printing press was invented to cover this loss, it allowed Protestant ideas to spread rapidly. So in short, the Black Death gave birth to the Reformation.
Thanks for watching everyone. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.